Episode 1: How Money Evolved from Gold to Fiat. Hey everyone, welcome to From Shells to Satoshis, where we explore the story of money, from its ancient beginnings to the cutting-edge digital revolution happening today. I'm Ryan Moss, and this is the first episode. We're going back in time, because if you want to understand where money is headed, you have to understand where it came from. What if I told you the dollar you earn today is quietly being drained of its value? So fast that most of your pay raises will never actually make you richer. 100 years ago, that same dollar could buy 20 times more than it can now. Stick around, because in this episode we're going to break down why your money keeps losing power and what might replace it. Picture this. Thousands of years ago, there was no money. If you were a farmer with extra wheat and you wanted a goat, you would have to find someone with a goat who wanted wheat. This is called a barter. It works in small groups but breaks down fast in bigger communities because you need something called a double coincidence of wants. Both sides have to want exactly what the other side is offering, which doesn't happen often. So humans invented commodity money, objects with universal value. In some places it was gold or silver. In others it was salt, cattle, or even shells. The key was that these items are durable, recognizable, and hard to fake. One of the most fascinating examples comes from the island of Yap in Micronesia. For centuries, the Yapese people used enormous carved limestone discs called rhinestones as money. Some were as big as cars and weighed several tons. Obviously, they didn't move them around for everyday transactions. Instead, ownership was recorded publicly. If you bought something, the community simply acknowledged that the stone now belonged to someone else, even if it stayed in the same spot. It worked because everyone agreed on its value and the rules for exchanging it. The rhinestone shows that money ultimately is about shared trust, not the physical object itself. Over time, carrying sacks of gold or large stones got impractical. Governments stepped in and created paper money, which was basically a receipt you could trade in for gold stored safely in a vault. This was the gold standard, a system where every bill is represented a fixed amount of gold. People trusted it because it was backed by something scarce and valuable. But money isn't just something you trade. Economics say it has three main jobs. It's a medium of exchange. You can buy stuff with it. A store of value. It holds worth over time. And a unit of account. A way to measure and compare value. That last one is important. The dollar is America's unit of account because it's a standard everyone uses to measure the values of goods and services. Just like you use inches to measure length or pounds to measure weight. We use a dollar to measure how much something is worth and to compare it to the value of other goods, without a common unit. We'd be stuck comparing apples to oranges, or worse, apples to hours of labor. The dollar provides a clear and consistent yardstick to express the price of products and services, which makes exchange much easier. Here's the twist. During wars or economic crises, governments needed more money than they had gold. They began issuing more paper than they could back. Over time, the gold link weakened, until it snapped entirely in 1971 when President Nixon announced the U.S. would no longer exchange dollars for gold. From that moment on, the U.S. dollar and most world currencies became fiat money. Fiat means by decree. The money is valuable because the government says so, not because it's backed by a physical commodity. Fiat has one big problem. There's no natural limit. Governments can create as much as they want, which almost always leads to inflation, the slow, steady erosion of your money's purchasing power. Think about it. In the 1970s, a movie ticket was $1.50. Today, it's more like $10. That's not because movies got that much better. It's because the dollar buys less. And in recent years, the pace of money creation has exploded. Since 2008, and then again during the COVID-19 pandemic, the US Federal Reserve has printed unprecedented amounts of money. The money supply measure known as M2, which includes cash and checking deposits, has tripled, going from around 7 trillion in 2008 to over 21 trillion by 2023. This rapid expansion has been a major driver of persistent inflation, further shrinking the dollar's buying power. When more dollars chase the same amount of goods and services, prices go up, and the dollars in your wallet or bank account are worth less. Our entire financial system runs on trust. Trust that governments won't overprint. Trust that banks will protect your money. And trust that inflation will stay manageable. But history shows that trust can be broken down. Which brings us to today, a time when people are asking, is there a better way? In 2009, an entirely new form of money appeared. It's digital, decentralized, and scarce by design. That's Bitcoin. And in our next episode, we'll explore exactly how it works and why it could be the money of the future. This is just the beginning. Join me in episode 2 as we step into the world of Bitcoin and see how much it's rewriting the rules of money.